Hello and welcome to A Walk with Mel. Today we're chilling with Caroline, who just gave me a few tips on how to do the ballet, squeezing the knees and everything. So welcome to the show. It's so cool to have you here.
Thanks, Mel.
And I always like to take it back to when and how I met you or the people that I interview on the show. And I remember doing the open adult class and I was the only hip hop dancer. Yes, you must believe, it was intense. But I would love to know how things started for you, and if you can tell the viewers how things started for you in the dance industry.
Well, basically, I had started ballet as a little girl at the age of about 4.5.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate that at the end of that year, there was a production done by what was then called Cape Ballet. It was the Nutcracker, and I got chosen to be an angel on the cake.
Aww.
And it was an unbelievable experience. That
On the cake?
Yeah, so there were two little angels that used to sit on this cake, and then you did this little dance, and then the Uncle Drosselmeyer character in the ballet would lift us off the cake and carry you across the stage and put us down. There were 2 angels and 4 soldiers, and I was an angel, which was much better than being a soldier.
Of course.
And it was really incredible, and I think the bug just bit, to be on the stage and to just, it was a wonderful experience, and I've danced forever after that.
Wow. And I mean, you've learned a different variety of dance styles with your bio that you sent. You've studied at UCT. What was it like learning that time? Because I mean, it's different. The challenges were different. What was the challenges, obviously, learning that time? Because now it's so easy. We can just go onto YouTube. We can check out things. If we want to find out things, Google are there. What was it like for you when you obviously started your training?
I think probably a big difference to then and now is that in those days, there wasn't even hip-hop. So we had ballet and we had modern. And that you would, mostly that's what people would choose. Tap as well, but I would say mostly ballet and modern. And you would choose one of those to do as your extramural. I did ballet and I did nothing else.
Sure.
So not that there weren't the other dance forms, but it's not like now where I find that children are doing many, many different extramurals, and some of them a lot of the different dance forms. So when I went to university, it was just this incredible exposure to all these different dance forms that was part of the course. You didn't have an option.
You had to take it, yeah.
So I was majoring in ballet, but I did contemporary, African, jazz, Spanish, national dance, which is like folk dance from Europe, basically.
Oh yeah, I see that vibe, yeah.
And I just absolutely love it. I couldn't get enough of it.
Wow, beautiful. And then obviously with ballet, I know that a lot of kids start at the age of 3 or 4. If I decide that I want to start today, and I mean, if there's people at home watching that wants to start, is it possible that you can? I mean, because it's a lot of technique.
It is a lot of technique, but you have to be realistic about what your expectation is going to be. So obviously, if you're starting as an adult, you're not intending to be a professional. You're wanting to do it for various reasons. So there's the exercise factor, which is mostly what adults do. They will do a dance form for exercise, but it's just a wonderful opportunity to free your mind of something completely different. You have classical music, so if you're someone who enjoys that sort of music, it's wonderful to just sort of let your mind wander off in the class. From your normal
kind of music
day, or
I get what you're saying.
Yes,
just to let go.
The day that you've had, if it was a bad day. But for me, I find that there are quite a lot of adults that are nervous to start a dance form, whether it be hip hop or ballet, because we offer both. And they'll inquire about it and they're really interested, but actually at the end of the day, they don't always make it to the class. And I think it's just so important to follow what you want to do if you're an adult, and just go with it and try it once.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. And I really think that specifically ballet teaches you a lot about your body and about your posture and just isolating muscles and how to work things. And we know as adults that we have a lot more problems than when we were children. So this hurts and that hurts, and how can you stretch it? Well, if you've never doing anything where someone's there to help you, then you're not going to learn that.
Exactly.
So I just feel there's nothing wrong with gym, but you're not getting input if you're working out on your own all the time.
That's
so if you come to the class and then you're looking at the person, you have the opportunity, I can offer you something.
You assisted me now when you showed me a few steps there. I mean, it made sense to me. and you feel kind of more comfortable in it. So it's just about making that decision and sticking to it. And then obviously, I mean, modern dancing, contemporary, you get all of these different styles of dancing. I remember when I was in primary school, we had modern dancing, but I never understood what the difference was of modern and contemporary. Is it the same thing? Is there a big difference?
It depends where you are, and I think that the modern has taken on a lot of the contemporary.
Okay.
So maybe the lines are slightly blurred, but modern tends to be more like jazz.
Okay.
So kind of a little harder, very low to the ground sort of thing. Whereas the contemporary is more about the use of gravity. It has a slightly balletic feel because it has a flow to it often. But it's barefoot, whereas obviously ballet is very seldom barefoot.
Yes, I totally get it. And then obviously you've traveled abroad and had the opportunity to dance over there. I mean, we all know we struggle with going overseas, always out of your own pocket. I mean, people don't see it as a sport where you actually need to be sponsored. I mean, have you sponsored yourself? And tell us more about the experience traveling there and what it was like.
So the one trip that I did was with a Spanish dance company, and we toured in Austria.
Sure.
And then we went after that to Spain to do a course. We were required to fund ourselves. We had done a little bit of fundraising, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't a huge help in the end. But this is quite a long time ago, so also it wasn't, you know, they just...
The tickets was, the pricing was different.
It was, but I just don't feel that in those days there weren't people that sponsored things like that, like it is now. So
I get what you're saying.
that wasn't an option, but we had this company that was together, and it was called Danza Lorca. Mavis Becker was the director, and we took a show to Austria and we toured around doing this show there. And I mean, even like about 2 nights before, we almost didn't go because I even remember being in her house and we were phoning this guy in Austria and like trying to find out, was it really going to happen, because you know he was supposed to meet us and have the bus and all of this, and it was a bit hectic. And I had just finished university then, but there were 2 girls who were still in school, so that was quite worrying for them. But the rest of the people were quite a lot older people as well. It was quite a mixed bunch. But that was a really awesome trip. I learned a lot doing the shows, but then when we did the courses in Spain, that was especially uplifting because you know, we don't, Spanish dance is not something that we have a lot of in South Africa. So to go and do it with the Spaniards, I mean, it was
that's
just
amazing. It's like living the culture.
Absolutely. And we're like, I only started it when I went to university, and there's an 8-year-old in your class who's doing what you can do.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because that's their cultural dance is, you know, they're flamenco, so they're doing exactly
I've learned a bit of that, when I did a movie now. We've done a bit of that. It's so cool.
So they're doing it and you're going, what? Because it's just...
You don't see that. That's not normal, like out here,
So because we obviously were doing not the advanced classes because we were not at that level.
Yes. And I mean, if you look at international levels, what do you think, what can we learn from dancers or artists internationally, and what do we have to offer? Do you think we have some things to offer as South African artists? And what can we take from them? Just in your opinion, of course.
There's just such a different mindset. I think that's the main thing. So I'm part of the international ballet competition.
Yes,
I work backstage for them, so I run the backstage for the competition. But in terms of international, from learning from that, what I find is that the children who are competing in that are basically, they dance all day, every day. Usually probably 6 days a week. They'll be dancing at least 6 to 8 hours. So some of them do it at like a college type thing where they're doing, it's a vocational school, so they'll spend all their day dancing, and they might have a couple of academics later in the day, which is almost the reverse of what we do. So then obviously they're going to be really good at that.
I get it.
It makes sense, but we don't do that. So then, and I think in South Africa it's a thing with everything, so I'm not pointing a finger at dance. But what happens is that, you know, children learn everything, and then they're never really good at one particular thing.
You don't specialize in just one thing.
Correct.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, and I mean, those children that are in that are just mind-blowing. I actually...
Kind of things to do with the body is probably...
Well, you know, so we'll be doing, you'll have men here doing, adult men doing 5 turns, and which is, it's
amazing,
good. And then you've got like this kid that won 2 years ago, he's like 15 and he's doing 5 turns. So by the time he's 20, I'm sure he'll be doing
turns.
8, 10 turns.
Yeah.
And I'm talking perfect.
Sure.
Absolutely perfect. So it's just a very different
The
level.
level is totally different. Yeah, amazing. And then obviously, we are at your studio. You ended up opening your own studio. What led to that decision? And please tell us more about your studio, when it started, and what courses or classes you offer.
So when I was at university in my final year, they got a call about someone needed an assistant. And my lecturer, she got hold of me and said that there was this job available. This lady who owned the studio was having a baby and she needed assistance for a year. So I taught for her for that year. She then came back for the next 2 years and taught her juniors, and I taught the seniors. Because she just needed a little bit more time, family time, whatever. And in that time, I also taught for the Department of Education, because I wasn't teaching enough classes to earn money to live. It was just kind of helping her out. So I got a job teaching ballet. It was at a school in Elsie's River. And then in sort of a crossover with that time, she then fell pregnant again and had a second baby and decided that she was actually done with the studio.
What?
So she offered me first option to buy it.
Wow.
And there are not a lot of options like that. So I would say so many people that start something, they have to start from scratch.
That's the thing.
It's this whole thing of building up, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work anyway, but I mean, we have this most beautiful studio that I was able to buy from her. So I bought her business. This is a rented building.
Wow.
But that's how I landed up here.
Awesome.
And yeah, so we've been in this studio since 2004.
Lovely. And what classes do you guys offer here?
So
I know I'm here as well, so I mean, you can join us.
So we have, the majority of our week is taken up with ballet.
Okay.
We also have hip hop classes, and we have a contemporary class, and we have the adults classes. We have the hip hop and the ballet.
Awesome. You know, sitting next to you, I feel I must just check my posture every time because you sit so perfectly. You know, I feel I must always just check if my shoulders are on point. And then, obviously, in your dance journey, what have you learned? Lessons that you've learned that you can maybe share in your dance journey so far?
That's a hard one.
There's so many.
There are many, but I think
just one or two that
perhaps what I feel like comes out in what I want to teach is that dance, and specifically ballet, but it does come out in other dance forms as well, is very respectful. So, you know, sort of the etiquette of well, you can go first, or you know, letting a person go and not just being all over the place. It's very specific about the discipline, and I think that's something that is extremely important in the world that we live in now. I think that dance, music, and the arts and all of those things are hugely important for children, because they're so busy with technology and iPads and computers that they don't learn anything except instant gratification.
Sure.
So if you're going to try and run the 100 meters, you need to try a lot of times before you're going to break the record. If you want to try and do 3 turns, you're going to have to try a lot of times. If you want to play Beethoven's sonata, you're going to have to keep doing it. And children are just so used to this.
So true. Everything is so easy.
Yes. So I mean, painting, playing an instrument, dancing, things like that are just so good for children to learn. You know, sport as well, to just learn that it's not just technology in the world that we live in.
Exactly. Yeah, well said. That's something new.
I didn't grow up with technology. You know, we didn't have that kind of thing when we were kids. So
it's totally different. Yeah, that's so well said. And then obviously any highlights that you can share in your dance career that was maybe nice moments for you that you can share with us?
I think I've been extremely fortunate because I've done, instead of going into professional dancing, I went into teaching because I got that job opportunity. There weren't a lot of people that got offered jobs.
I get it.
I got a job, I was fortunate. But I then landed up doing a lot of performing in other shows.
Sure.
So I've kind of had a nice way
combination.
Combination of doing things, and I've had a couple of shows that have been really special for me, just personally and, you know, challenging. The most recent one that we did was 2 years ago. I danced in Oklahoma, which was at the Artscape, but it was a very challenging role, but it was so amazing. I just had the best time.
Amazing.
We got to do, I think, 19 performances of it, which was also incredible because, you know, you just, well, I'm the kind of person, I'm on stage, I love it, I just want more.
Yes.
I'm happy to be there.
Yes,
so,
it's your place to be.
But I think also in terms of highlights, it's been so great to do so many different dance forms. So my other tour that we did was to Prague, and that was a contemporary dance thing. Wow. But then the hip hop is also very special to me. I really love hip hop, and I went to see the Hip Hop International in Vegas one year when I was in the States, which was a really just an incredible,
it's an amazing experience.
It's an incredible experience to see international stuff.
It is, yeah, like another level. Just the last two questions. International Ballet Company, tell us more about that quickly. What it is that they do, and I mean, when does the events happen if people want to ever come out and support?
So the International Ballet Competition happens every second year, so it will happen again next year.
Okay.
And they have 3 different categories, and basically you're entering, they're doing 2 classical variations and 1 contemporary variation, and then they're judged on that, and there's the 3 rounds, and then you have your finals, and there's a gala, and there's quite a lot of money that can be won.
Wow.
It's beautiful to go and watch. I mean, I think anybody would be inspired by the level of the children that are in that competition. And it's very international. I mean, they're usually probably about anything between 15 and 20 different countries that compete.
That's amazing. Yeah. So the level is on another level. And then obviously advice to the young people, to the viewers watching, any advice that you can give?
Dance is an important thing to do. It's very meaningful for many people, I think, and I just feel that a lot of people consider it and they don't go ahead with it. And you can learn so much about yourself and about your own body, and I think it's extremely important to take care of our bodies, and I don't think that people do that. And it could lead you to, even if you do a dance class, you could land up doing something else that teaches you about your body. And you know, people have pain in their bodies all the time because of stress, and that's an adult thing. That is a life thing that adults deal with. And you can learn how to not get rid of it, but to help yourself.
Through that, beautifully
that's
said.
important for me.
Said. And then the last question, I mean, how can people support you? If there's people that want to join the studio, how does that work?
There's a number of ways. They could either just phone me. We have a Facebook group and a website, so they can contact me through either of those. And you can start at any time. We're doing a show in March.
Awesome.
So
please tell us about that quickly. March,
We're just doing a show at the school up the road, which is going to be great.
Lovely.
I think the kids are really excited about it. It's going to be a really fun thing to have everybody on stage again.
Awesome.
And it's different items, so we're having the ballet, the hip hop, and the contemporary in that.
Combination of everything.
Yes. And then for the rest of the year, we haven't really set it out, but it's one of those things where it's just going to be a busy year. Awesome.
That's exciting. That's good. Yeah. Good. So thank you so much for joining and sharing your valuable journey with us here on A Walk with Mel. So appreciated. So that's it from us here on A Walk with Mel, signing out. And like Caroline said, keep dancing and stick to your word and start just setting goals and doing things for yourself. So we are here at the Wall of Fame, like you said. We said it earlier. So please tell us about your Wall of Fame.
These are just really amazing people that I've met, and it's quite something and very special for me to say that I've met them. So Mikhail Baryshnikov, you can see he wasn't that excited when he met everybody outside the stage door, but I think he was exhausted, but it was incredible feeling to meet him.
Sure.
This is my pet spider, Aurelia. This is Aaron Smythe, who is one of the most incredible dancers who I actually met through the International Ballet Competition. And he's been here, actually landed up staying at my house as well, which was really cool.
Besties for life.
He loves my chocolate squares.
Is it? Oh, thank you.
Here he is in this picture dancing with Michaela de Prince. If you do not know about Michaela de Prince, you need to go and Google, because this is one of the most amazing young people in the world. She has won awards for being an incredible inspiration to people. She's an orphan from Sierra Leone.
Wow. I know about her.
There's a book about her. She's just incredible, and she's so young. I think she's just turned 21.
Sure.
And she's taking over the world.
That face.
Yes, this is the gorgeous Sasha Rudetsky, who was from that fantastic movie Center Stage.
I saw that, yeah.
And he is actually touching my shoulder.
Thank you. I just want to just highlight that.
I just want to say that I'm also friends with his sister on Facebook because she lives in New York. I know her through my cousin.
I need to be besties with you.
And then these were some people from Cuba, from the International Ballet Competition, also Aurora here. Just stunning things to meet these people and have those experiences. The fabulous Paris Goebel.
I saw this picture and I was like, Caroline, when did this happen?
I went to her studio in New Zealand, but this was not, I think that was from them. Here we have us with Gus Swembury and of course the fabulous
Rudy
Smith
Smith.
with his then dark hair and my other bestie Amy.
Your memory lane.
This is Dwayne Alexander, who is another amazing person who's also taking over the world with all the musicals that he's doing. I don't know if you've seen, he's choreographed for most of the musicals. He's been the head choreographer and dance captain.
He needs to get into the show.
That's for Annie and that.
Oh, yes.
This is Danny Kay. We did the World Cup cricket.
Love it.
Not competition. The
cricket,
they were
the World Cup.
World Cup, yes. And then these people are from So You Think You Can Dance, so Twitch, hello.
Twitch, and I thank you. Step up.
Yeah.
Yes, step up.
But I mean, he's just the most incredible person. Shane Sparks, and then this is Alison, who landed up marrying Twitch, and they have 2 children now.
What?
This Melanie, who won one of the So You Think You Can Dance competitions, is one of the most incredible dancers I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
So she's not really ballet, but she danced for us at the convention that we were at. And just her control is beyond belief.
Wow.
Absolutely beyond belief.
Wow.
And so it was just at the conventions, you know, we